Hey everybody, this is a quick demonstration about monotype printing. You need some ink, a plexiglass plate, a roller, a couple pieces of paper, and maybe pencil. The materials are pretty simple for monotype. The printing ink is relatively inexpensive and you only need a very little bit for each plate. Oftentimes it could be one thing to consider is not using too much ink for the monotype. And you just put a little bit of ink on the plexiglass plate and use the roller to spread the ink evenly across the plexiglass. Evenly, sometimes you can use even a little piece of paper to get the excess ink off of the plate when you're rolling up the ink over the plate. After you have the ink covering the plate evenly, it's helpful to have the plate stay in one secure place location while you're making the monotype. So I'm just using a little bit of tape to hold the plate in a secure place while I'm making the print on top. So the plate goes down on the table surface first, and on top of the plate, I'm going to place just a small paper frame that I cut out so that I can protect the edges of the print from ink that I don't want to get on the outsides of my print. And then I place the printing paper, or the paper that I'm going to use for the printed image, the final printed image. And then I'll tape all of those securely in place so they don't move while I'm making the print. Because the printing is an indirect printing process, or an indirect art making process, you never really know what you might get when you pull the paper off at the end of the process. But that being said, it's still nice to try to keep things secure and in place. I'm going to make a print of a small portrait drawing that I was using for some study. So on top of all of the other paper, I put down the drawing from which I'll make the print. So printing is an original art form, so you want to use some artwork that you have made, and then you want to convert to a printed image. You can make editions or multiple copies of monotype. However, each individual edition is actually a separate work of art in and of itself, because no two monotypes are ever exactly the same. You just don't always know what you may get when you pull the print. And so there's often some small variations, which is part of the attractive quality about monotype printing. So I'm just using a process of covering the lines that I've already made on the drawing. So I'm going over those on top of the paper and on top of the inked up paper, or the inked up plate. And by doing that, wherever I press the pencil is going to pick up some of the ink underneath, and hopefully not from too many other places. Then you get to see what you've made. Hopefully it's a nice little print and not too bad. A little bit messy in the upper corner. I hope you enjoy the printmaking process.